Well, hello. Today is, I think it's Monday, the 5th of December. I want to come through today with a promise I made for Christie when I play with online with the USA Brotherhood. And she's one of our top players, and she likes cooking apparently, and so I promised her some recipes. And this is now the orange muffins. I thought I would put it in with some other vlog, but it seems to be taking at least 10 to maybe 12 minutes to make this video. So I will make it just a cooking video. Upload number 3, it will be just plain cooking. Christie, that's for you. Don't ever say I don't do things I promise. I'm shaking like a leaf. I should hold this a bit more steady. Well, that's it. I want you to know I have a liquor in there. The liquor is called Galliano, and that liquor will be, how would I say? It is made, I think, from Holland this time. I thought it was made from Italy or from Portugal, but I guess this one came from Holland. It's not an alcohol you drink like a schnapps. It's more like an alcohol for flavor. You use as flavoring. Very nice and it changes vodka orange into what they call Harvey Wallbanger. Comes from a little bar in California. Her customer, his name was Harvey. He always drank a vodka orange, and one day he arrived with this alcohol he got as a present, and he added that to his vodka orange, and spent the whole night for the bar. All the people used this vodka orange with this liquor in it. It was so good, and people liked it so much, and it's so addictive that they started banging off the wall. That's why this got the name Harvey Wallbanger. I don't know. I assume the police had to close the place down, but it is a famous drink now. Good for Harvey. Well, that's it. Let's go cook and have some fun. So, gentlemen, let's go, let's start. Today we do muffins for Christie. I got the flour. Remember, I cut the recipe in half, at least in half. I even cut a little bit out. Instead of using 2 cups and a half, 2 cups and a quarter, I only used 2 cups. Sugar, because I like sweet, I added actually to the 1 cup, maybe another 1/8 of a cup, just because I like it. Baking powder, 1 teaspoon and a half. Even don't give it too much. I make my teaspoons quite even. Baking soda, I used 1 teaspoon. And hang on, I have to check the recipe to make sure. Yeah, 1 teaspoon and a little bit more, but not a teaspoon and a half. I don't like the salt the baking soda gives. For the liquid part, I have the eggs. I have the cup of 1 cup of oranges. I cut them always very fine, like they were leftovers from at our bar. That's why I invented those muffins. They were leftovers. We had to use something to use the leftovers to be financially more feasible again. The butter, it is only half a cup anyway. This is like half of a cup. I will add this in. Make sure it's unsalted butter. Do not forget that you use unsalted butter. It's a hell of a difference if you don't have the salty flavor. Coffee time. Delicious. I prepare everything else. First we take the flour. If you have something to sift the flour, use it sifted. It's always more professional, always better if you use sifted flours. I at the moment don't have anything to sift, so I don't bother with it. Besides, there's always going to be chunks in it from the oranges, because the oranges are not completely broken down by the blender. The baking sauce powder, baking soda, you mix that very well together. Now we make the liquid ingredients, all the juice and the stuff from the oranges in there. 1 egg. And another half an egg. I use just a little bit. I guess this one would do. Use the egg yolk, keep the egg white. I always like to get things away from my preparing station, so I have some space. Then I start pre-blending. You have to do it a few times because there's not that much liquid at the moment in there. There, it's starting now. You have to. I will hold this from the wire. The orange pieces are not that easy broken down. There will always be pieces of orange skin in there, as you can see. But this is good enough for now. Now is here the big trick. The alcohol I told you, Galliano. It's, well, apparently this is produced in Holland. I thought it was Portugal, but this is from Holland. And I like to add a very good tablespoon to it. So I will do my grandfather's tablespoon. A little bit more maybe, you know. That used to be my grandfather when he said he only had a tablespoon of schnapps to that. Hey, and the butter has been melted. I add the melted butter into there. That has to go all very quickly because as soon as the butter cools down. This is the liquid mix. We add that to our dry mix. Try to get everything, well, it depends how much you make. If you make a real big pot full, because you have a lot of guests, then it's not so important. And now you incorporate this into the flour. Well, I will use my hands. Sorry, but this is, I tried to do it the fine English way, but it's so much easier doing it by hand, so here we go. As you can see in the dough, maybe you don't see it, I'm not sure how clear this will be, but you can see there are still some chunks of muffin. Voila! Now we have to let it rest for a while. I would say at least 30 minutes. And resting means it gives the flour a chance to incorporate itself and to build up its volume, because flour always takes a while to fully take on liquid. So we're back. I'm gonna now scoop in the muffin mix into the muffin. What I like to do is make it a little bit more than half, but not quite 3/4. Then the muffin comes up, builds a tiny mushroom on top of the muffin top, but it doesn't overrun the muffin paper. So you're gonna fill this up. And we're back. As you can see, I got my 12 muffins made. I got still a little bit left, meaning if you would make the full recipe, you would probably end up with at least 30 to maybe 36 muffins. Trying to find a bamboo stick to show you another little trick. Of course, if you make a bread, it will take much longer cooking because the volume is so much more expanded. You put in the oven, don't know how long it takes, 350. My oven right now is preheating at 350, 375. I will put that one in the oven as we speak. You will hear the clang when it goes in. There we go. It is now 5 to 11, so we will see how long it takes to be cooked. If you want to find out if they cooked, you use a bamboo stick. A toothpick will do also. Stick it in the middle and pull it out. If it pulls out without anything attaching itself to the bamboo stick, any liquid, it would always be slimy around the thing. If it's cooked, it will come out clean. Well, here we are, 350. I just turn on the light. The muffins starting cooking. I feel a bit ashamed of my oven. It's a mess. I will show you the muffins. They are working. They are in there now for 15 minutes. I would say I could almost check if they are done because oh, you see there's still something sticking on the thing. That means they're not quite done inside. Keep this in mind with this stick. It works with many other cooking things too, and it really helps. Well, we got now about 20 minutes have been the muffins in the oven. I am quite certain this is exactly the time they needed to finish up. We'll take them out. Well, that was smart. I did one without, don't know how this happened, but perfect. Nothing sticking anymore. Perfectly cooked. I realized the next one I make muffin, I will leave it at 350. That's the original heat. I think 375 always makes them a bit too, maybe a bit too colorful. But that's it. Muffins for Christie. Enjoy. You can easily peel them off here. And don't forget to get the Nutella. Oh.